第3局，方越右胜，比分3-0。
比赛专用提醒您，精彩比赛马上开始。
台地幻影之刃系列大杆，搭载碳纤维前置，精雕工艺，品质卓越，严丝合缝卓越体现。选台地，长球技。当热爱遇上奥斯本兹，精研工艺，邂逅上乘材质，匠心独具，诠释卓越性能，尽显非凡魅力。每一次击球都能感受到力量与技巧的和谐共鸣，每一次挥杆都是精准操控与职业打感完美契合。手握奥斯本兹球杆，为热爱全力以赴，注重打感，选奥斯本兹。
传闻上古时期，元神将6件神兵散入
Good day everyone and welcome back to day 7 here at the 13th World Heyball Masters Grand Finals, brought to you by Joy. On the TV table at the moment we have Hing Yuan Yu from Malaysia against UK's Gareth Potts, one of the definite favourites in this tournament. This is a race to 13 winner break format, and this is now stage 2 of the international competition. Joining me in commentary is Lenyukta Chetty all the way from Cape Town. How are you doing this morning, Lenyukta?
Well, with Gareth Pot making that 9 to the corner pocket now, table's looking good for him. I think we should definitely see him get on the scoreboard by the looks of it. A nice kiss of the ball to get good shape on his second last stripe. And with that, Gareth on the scoreboard, Hing Yuan Yu leading 3-1 in this race to 13.
第5局，加雷斯波茨开球。
Yeah, so with that, Gareth Potts gets himself on the scoreboard. And score now 3-1 in this race to 13, Lenyukta. So after yesterday, I'm sure Gareth Potts would like a big win in this match. This is now the losers bracket. It is a must win. Whoever loses this match is on their way home, unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't even think a big win is necessary. Yeah, Raymond, just a win to stay in the tournament. I mean, Gareth Potts, like you said earlier, one of the hot favorites always to win this tournament. I mean, any tournament that he participates in. And I believe he's, actually won the Grandmasters finals twice since its inception 13 years ago. So, yeah, I think the fans were absolutely shocked by that outcome. Between him and Shivam Aurora yesterday, but he's looking in good shape now. That was a decent clearance from him in the last frame to get on the scoreboard. So, yeah, let's hope Gareth Potts can bring the fire and give us the match that we all are hoping for.
Yeah, I would love to see that as well. This is now the losers bracket, so he does have to fight through this bracket, although he did win his first match. By losing the second one, he now has quite a fight. I believe he might have to win three more matches to qualify through this. And yeah, he has won the first, the second, and the fifth Joy Heyball Masters Grand Finals. But in saying that, I have to say I believe the fifth was the most difficult one for him, as by that time most of the players had become accustomed to this game and they were really giving him a run at that time.
Absolutely, but still quite an accomplishment. I mean, having occupied, taken that champion title 3 times out of 12, that's quite impressive.
Very
and
impressive.
I think that's why Gareth Potts has such a massive fan base the world over. We see him make that 11 ball. Oh, that's a great shot, Raymond. That's a great shot. Look at that. Good shape on the 8 ball.
I believe that's a break and run.
Beautiful stuff there from Gareth Potts, taking his second point. Oh, on the stream we have Seguya Vincent. Good morning, Seguya.
Morning, Mr.
Good morning,
Vincent.
Fana.
Nice to have you on
I
the
see
stream.
Seguya's been on most of your streams. Hey, since this tournament has started.
It's very nice to have him on the stream. It's nice to have his support and everyone's support who has been supporting us all through the tournament. Thank you guys for being on the stream.
Well, remember to hit that share button on the corner left if you're joining us on Facebook to let your pool network know that this match is happening. This is Gareth Potts from the UK versus Hing Yuan Yu from Malaysia. Young Malaysian with a impressive snooker background in his country, taking on the mighty Gareth Potts in this losers bracket. You said it's stage 2. Hey, Raymond.
Yes, Lenyukta, this is stage 2 of this tournament, the international side, and the matches we are watching is the losers bracket, as he does make a ball into the center, so we might be seeing Gareth going for a second consecutive break and run. Have a look at this break. It looks actually like he has this break down to a science this time in this match, as you see excellent control from the cue ball. We have seen players struggling with this new break using the triangle rack. It has been tough for them.
Yeah, absolutely. We saw that 13 ball make its way to the center pocket. And like you said, the cue ball in the center of the table, that's what they'd want. That's what they'd want in order to give themselves a good chance, having made the ball off the rack. Gareth Potts in control here.
And as you saw in the previous shot, just bumping into the one ball, opening that up. Oh, this guy is an absolute machine. Love the way he cues. So clean, so precise. Cue ball now on a string for Gareth in this frame.
He's got that one closest to the black. He's also got that 3 as a banker in the corner pocket on our side of the table. So Yeah, things looking good for Gareth here. I think we should see him equalize. We should see him equalize if
Yeah, and the thing is,
all goes well.
it's not about him equalizing. It's about how quick these last two frames
He's
have
done
been
it.
so quick. Yeah, that's another thing when you sitting in your chair as an opponent, and your opponent can change a game around that quick. I mean, it makes you feel some kind of way. Have a look at how he gets onto this one ball. Yeah, he's played that really
Oh, that's
nice.
lovely.
Can decide to go for the 6 in the corner and play the 1 into the center, or play the 1 first, but I do think he'll be going for the 6. Get good shape on the 1 to the right center.
A little bit too much. A little bit too much of that cushion. So I think he should be able to hold the white here, though. Hey, Raymond, off that stripe.
Yeah, I do believe he's gonna hold the cue ball off that stripe ball. Does look like the shot to play.
I mean, a potential cut for the center pocket here, and I think that's exactly what he's going for. The only other option would be the bank to the opposite center pocket, but Gareth Pot with the cut here. Oof, narrow miss.
Yeah, that was a very tough one. It was a very tough shot to the center.
Oh, he'll be so disappointed with that. Oh, missed opportunity there for Gareth. So close, and it was quite an impressive run that he had on his last visit. As we see Hing make light work of the object balls, he should be easily on the black of this. Oh, nice cue ball control there from him.
Really nice counter clearance from Hing Yuanyu from Malaysia to now make this 4-2. Yeah, just capitalizing off Gareth's mistakes. There's Hing.
Well, just one mistake, just one mistake, from Gareth on that last frame.
Mr. Vincent is saying we should all agree that the young players are now giving the pioneers some hard time. Yeah, that is very true. I mean, that's the name of the game, development with the youngsters in Q Sports. Wouldn't you agree, Lenyukta?
And absolutely. And I think, Hing Yuan, with having competed in some of the other events like the Malaysian Open, that happened in the last year, he's definitely developed as a player, and this isn't his first showing at a Masters. And I mean, the same with Shiva Marora, who played Gareth Potts yesterday. With each showing at these massive international tournaments comes an increased level, big match temperament, confidence from these players who are, for a large part unknown on the global scene, and we see them now bringing their best against mighty names like Gareth Potts, Chris Melling, Zheng Yuba. So it's beautiful to watch. It's beautiful to watch these players come into their own on this platform.
That was a dry break from Hing Yuan Yu. Now, how costly is that going to be?
The stripes look good. It'll be interesting to see how Gareth develops that 10 that's closest to the black. Oof.
Speaking of that, yeah, the 9 ball down the rail. This Gareth hasn't settled yet in this match. I would have to say he has settled in the tournament though, because he did win his first match yesterday morning quite well, quite convincingly.
I mean, Gareth Potts is a superseded player in the tournament, right, Raymond?
Yes, superseded player came in to stage 2 with the 16 superseded players that joined the 48 international players that made it out of stage 1. So yeah, arrived just before the opening ceremony, and yeah, because he is the winner of the first Grand Masters, he was called upon to take the player's oath as well. So very big name in the sport, great ambassador for the sport as well. I mean, one of the pioneering ambassadors.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. That was a good try there from Hing. I think he was trying to get shape on the 2. Raymond, does that 2 pass for the corner pocket on the right side of the table?
I think it should. I think he played on that, and I think he played to have a slight angle to even open up the black ball. So he's going to play this. Yeah, it does pass, as we see there. Oh, he's gone wide.
Ooh,
Slightly
he's
wide
gone
on that
wide.
one. Yeah. If that cue ball would have rolled up behind the 7, that would have been terrible luck for Gareth. Really felt for him. Still has to find a way to get into the black ball though, does Gareth.
I'm wondering if he won't use this opportunity here to open up that 10. There we go. A pity on the
Yeah, that
position of the cue ball off that shot.
Quite unlucky. Yeah, he's gotten quite unlucky with that one. So it looks like this 11 does pass to the right center. Slight tester, this one. Makes easy work.
Nice.
Yeah, very good shot from Gareth Potts. Nice recovery.
Very good shot. Absolutely. With the cue ball there so close to the cushion and such a narrow margin for error, to miss the other spotted ball that was close to that. It was a great shot from him. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. And with this, he should get good shape on the 8. Lovely stuff from Gareth Potts, taking his 3rd point. Hing leads 4-3 in this race to 13. No time limit on this match. This is stage 2, losers bracket. Do or die for both these players. We've seen a rack and run from Hing Yuan Yu, Malaysia's Hing Yuan Yu, and a break and run from Gareth Potts thus far. Gareth to break in this winner's break format. And he's made a stripe in the center pocket. Not an easy table to select color for Gareth, though.
Lenuka, it does look like Gareth has definitely got that break right today. I know yesterday he had quite a few dry breaks, a few unforced errors, but this morning he is breaking really well.
Yeah, breaking really well. I mean, managing to pot a ball, but as we see here, not giving himself an easy table off that break, and such a good spread of the balls. He really needs to secure color here. Oh, nice combination shot there from Gareth. Hey, Raymond, that was well taken.
That was a very good shot. Just having a look at some of our other international scores at the moment. We have Ricky Walden 5-1 down on TV2. Stephen Ellis against Matthew Selt scores 5-3 to Matt Selt. And these are must-win matches. This is the losers bracket, so these players have lost one match already in stage 2. Rebecca Jane Kenner is absolutely flying on table 6 as she is 7-1 up.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Rebecca is playing amazing in this tournament.
Wow.
Fantastic. David Lilly currently 7-2 up against Arfan Dad as well. And Alex Pegulayan 4-2 up at the moment. Caesar Chandiga is 4-3 up in his match that is on table 12. I think that is being streamed by Doris Cheng's page and also shared onto the Joy Heyball World Tour page. Max Benko, our Heyball Junior World Champion, is currently 6-1 up. As of before yesterday night, he hadn't dropped a match in this entire tournament that Max Benko.
That is so impressive, and he's definitely one of those youngsters to really watch out for. I think he's gonna, he's gonna just get more and more impressive.
Yeah, he's too dangerous, and I've seen why, because you'll always see him in the practice room all the time, constantly in the practice room, practicing, and that's why he's that good.
No, absolutely. And I think, that's the thing with the juniors, whether it's a local tournament, a national tournament, an international tournament, you'll find them at the table, at the practice tables, every chance they get. They're so hungry. They're so hungry. And of course, they've got that fearlessness of youth as well. Max Benko is just a wonder. And it's going to be, like I said, it's going to be beautiful to see how he develops in this game as he matures as a player. So Gareth there, take that. He made such light work of his object balls in that last frame and securing his 4th point. Scores equalized now 4-4. And I believe that will be a little intermission now. Hey, Raymond.
Yeah, it looks like Gareth has stepped out of the arena for a moment. Might be a slight intermission. We did have one earlier. Not exactly sure if they're going to have another one now. But yeah, he took that really well, and that's just how quick he can change a match. Score 4-all. I believe he was 3-1 down or 4-1 down. So good comeback from Gareth Potts. Some nice clearances there, and how many players are left? So as of yesterday morning, there were 96 players left total. We haven't eliminated any international players yet, but we have already eliminated some of the Chinese players. So I do believe the Chinese players are in action today again. So we've eliminated 8 Chinese players, so we're down to 88. Yeah, so 88 players left in total as the competition stands right now. However, after this round, we will have quite a few eliminations. If we have a look at how many matches we have on, all the losers of this round will be eliminated, unfortunately. So we have 16 matches on. So that means by the end of this round, this 10 a.m. round, we'll have eight players eliminated.
So 88 down to 80 at the end of this round.
At the end of this round, yes. 96 yesterday morning, eliminating 8 of the Chinese players yesterday, down to 88, and after this round down to 80. And then the Chinese players play again at 2 p.m. Chengdu time. We will eliminate another 8 players. So by the end of that round, we'll know who our top 16 Chinese players are.
Raymond, can you give us some highlights from what to expect in the next round? What kind of matchups do we have there?
Yeah, let me have a look at that. It's a good idea. So we do know in the Chinese round, we do know Zheng Yubo is out of the tournament. Tang Shunshao is out of the tournament. These are some massive favorites who are out of this tournament.
Yeah, I was a little bit, if I'm being honest, a little bit crushed to see Zheng Yubo, eliminated yesterday. Oh, he's always such a wonder to watch. Such a brilliant player. Just didn't have a good day at the office. Well, 2 good days at the office. I don't think anybody would have seen that coming.
Not at all. Not at all. And the match against Yang Fan, the one that eliminated him, that went down to the wire, 13-12. He was actually 12-11 up, but Yang Fan is also a very tough opponent, and he has been doing very well, especially recently. Been winning quite a few tournaments.
Yeah, I mean, he's got quite an impressive list of accolades behind his name, Yang Fan. So, it would have been, like, as we say in Africa, size to size there with him and Yeboah. But, I guess, on the day, he just gave a better performance. And those Chinese players, how many did you say we saw come into the tournament, Raymond?
Chinese players, total players, I think about 120, around 100 came into the tournament. Yeah, had to play through the qualifying rounds.
And they're down to?
They now are down to the last 32 at the moment.
Yeah. And, 120 Chinese players, that's China's 120 best,
Exactly.
So that standard, I mean, the standard just between those 120 players will rival most countries. I mean, we've seen how clinically the Chinese approach this game. I see Long Dang from Australia has joined the stream. Good morning, Long. Nice to see you on the stream. Good morning, Roger Stacks. Yeah, absolutely. It's so bad that Yeboah and Tang are out. I mean, I'm a massive Tang fan, my Tang fan myself. And bad days in the office for both of them, the master and the student.
So some of the surprise Chinese players in the losers bracket, actually, we have Zhao Rulang, who's currently in the losers bracket, and Yang Fan. So both of them have to fight through that losers bracket. We wouldn't like to see them go home in this tournament, especially at this stage. A nice break.
Managed.
Nice break, yeah. No, his break is on fire today. His break is definitely good today. He hits them so
definitely
solid.
Some help. Definitely some help from Lady Luck there with that 9 kissing that object ball into the center pocket, and he's managed to drop a stripe. And it looks like he can make a play for stripe. Well, he can make a play for solid that.
10 seconds. 延时。
And with that, solids in play for Gareth Potts. Score tied 4-4 in this race to 13. stage 2 losers bracket.
Yeah, Gareth is breaking really well, very well. It's nice to see that. It's nice to see some good breaks from him. Manages to get the power through the balls really nicely, as well as great control of the cue ball.
You know, there's about 10 years age difference between Hing and Gareth. So, just like most of us the world over, Hing would have been, growing up, developing as a player, idolizing players like Gareth Potts. And that's the beauty of these international tournaments. Hey, Raymond, that you get to meet your idols. And if you're lucky, you get to draw them in a tournament like this. Regardless of the outcome of these matches, for players who are just started making a name for themselves on the international scene. It's just surreal to get an opportunity to go up against somebody you would have grown up idolizing. Good morning, Robert Bett. Is it my audio, I'm Lenyukta Chetty, or Raymond's audio that is problematic to you? As we see Gareth make the final 2 ball into the center pocket, good shape on that 8. And Gareth, with his 5th point, taking the lead for the first time in this match against Malaysia's Hing. Thank you, Detective Richie. Thank you for the feedback. That's 3 break and runs from Gareth Potts. 3 break and runs, really seeing him capitalize off his opportunities to break. Gareth to break once more in this winner's break format. Thank you, Mr. Vincent. Thank you for the feedback, guys. We really appreciate it. No doubt Raymond is working on the solution to that. I'm sure you guys miss him. Oh, another great break there from Gareth Potts. I think he's made at least 2 balls off that break, and we see him go to secure solids as he reaches for the rest. Heyball rules once again. It's 45 seconds for a shot, and players are allowed 1 time extension of 30 seconds per frame. I think it's just that pink solid that poses a bit of a problem for Gareth. think he's going for it now to the center pocket. Actually managed to giving himself a good shape on that pink, but I think he would have wanted to be a little bit more straight on that ball. Oh, lovely. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Good morning, Mambo Kalapa. He says, great game so far. Absolutely. I think we're seeing a different Gareth today. But, that said, about that match with him and Aurora yesterday, Shivam Aurora from India, Gareth wasn't breaking in. And I think we all know there would have been a different outcome for that had those breaks gone better, because Aurora was in great form. And we saw him just capitalize off the dry breaks from Gareth Potts. Gareth now managing a 2-point lead. And that, as we see, the facial expression on him looking a little bit more relaxed now. In early stages of this match, Hingyu and Yu was 3-0 up. Gareth Potts making it 6-4. So quite a comeback from him. Has been breaking really well as we see him make his way to the table in this winner's break format. Yeah, absolutely, Manny and O'Connor. I mean, I had the pleasure of also catching some highlights of that match between Shivam and Gareth, and Shivam was amazing. I mean, to perform that way against a big name like Gareth Potts, there's a lot to it that can be said about that. You got to give him his props as well. India's Shivam Arora for playing that well yesterday. Convincing win from him there. And back to this match. This is stage 2, losers bracket, do or die for both these players. Malaysia's Hingyu on Yu and UK's Gareth Potts. As Raymond mentioned earlier, on the Chinese side, also elimination rounds, with China fielding 120 of their finest at the start of this tournament.
Heyball.
Good day everyone, and I am back. I hope my audio is coming through clear now. And what has happened in this game, Lenyukta? I see the scoreline has changed massively.
I mean, we saw Gareth just capitalizing on his opportunities to break there. I think he's on 4 or 3 break and runs so far, Raymond. So, and he's managed to keep Hing Yuan Yu at bay in this frame as well. So, yeah, Gareth really, doing what Gareth does best so far.
Appreciate the feedback, Manny. Thank you, and thank you for being on the stream once again. Manny is always on our stream supporting us. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate that. And yeah, Lenyukta, it's coming down to Gareth breaking really well in this match, I have to say. That's been the turning point for him. I mean, the break is the first shot of the match. I mean, should be something you can rely on, and I know for Gareth, he puts a lot of work into that break shot.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's always best for these players to capitalize on their break, especially at this level where, the caliber of players here at this tournament, they all break and run caliber, reverse dish caliber type players. So, look, Gareth made a ball on his break here and was unable to run out, but he's managed to keep Hing at bay. Let me see him get good shape on the 1 once again. No, Gareth is definitely one of those players that's so deadly the more time he has on the table.
100% agree with you, Lenyukta. And we have David on the stream. I believe the Caesar game is being streamed on the other page, Lenyukta. Doris Cheng has that on her page. So if you guys would like to check that game out, it is there. It's also shared on the Joy Heyball World Tour page as well.
Gareth Pot goes 7-4 up, being 3-0 down at the early stage of this match. So, yeah, Hing Yuan Yu just unable to find his object balls off those snookers, and it's cost him. But there we see those stats. That's 4 break and runs from Gareth Potts, 1 rack and run from Hing Yuan Yu, 3 consecutive break and runs from Gareth Potts. So definitely in form.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat, the 3 consecutive. That has really turned this game around, and I believe Shiv had 3 consecutive break and runs yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
3 or 4.
Shivam
He
Aurora,
was even going for
yeah,
5. Yeah, Shiv was on fire.
Yeah, he was in the zone. Shivam Aurora was in the zone yesterday against Gareth Potts. And of course, it didn't help that Gareth was breaking dry, as we've mentioned. Has he made a ball on this break? Let's have a look at that again.
3 ball was tracking to the top, but it didn't go in. It could be dry.
Yep, looks like it's a dry break.
Good day to you, Simo Chonko. Nice to have you on the stream. And we do have Jason Turon playing this evening. Not sure if that is going to be on the live table or not. The fixtures haven't come out. But Jason Turon from South Africa is in action at 6 p.m. tonight, local time here in Chengdu City.
I believe he's the last South African standing in the tournament. Hey, Raymond.
Yes, he is. He is the last South African standing, and doing us so proud and doing Africa so proud, as always, is Jason Turon at these tournaments. So Gareth quickly changed the complexion of this match with those 3 consecutive break and runs. But if the dry breaks start sneaking up again, he's facing quite a mighty opponent here. Also, we have to say that Hing Yuan Yu is in the losers bracket because he lost to Chris Melling. Chris the Magician Melling, and the score, 13-12.
I mean, that's a very impressive score against Chris Melling.
To go to a decider with Chris Melling, that is something. So he is definitely a very, very strong player.
I see Manny Rod has placed an update here on the comment section. The Caesar score is 5-5. So Caesar and Jason are the last two Africans standing in this tournament, I believe.
Yeah, I do believe they are the last two athletes from the African continent. We did have Morocco's Abdurrah Chofi playing yesterday, but I do believe he did lose, and he is possibly out of the tournament already. But yeah, Morocco also doing very well in this tournament. All of their players that they brought through to the last 160 international players after the qualifying round. So all, I think 5 or 6 Moroccan players managed to qualify through this event. That's an excellent statistic for them.
Absolutely, and I think that that event that took place, the African Open in the WPA African Open for Heyball that took place in October last year in Morocco, really, inspired the players to get involved in the game. So I think, those series of events that's brought to you by WPA and Joy Billiards has really put Heyball on the map globally, where people from all the different continents have had an opportunity to participate. And there has been Chinese players and UK players that have attended a lot of those tournaments. So very high standard of competition as well in those WPA events.
Yeah, exactly, and also that putting the tables in those countries and continents as well has made the difference as to why we're seeing so many more players come to these events, and the level and standard. So those tables did stay in Morocco after the African Open. There we see Imad Lassini. Yeah, Lassini is one of the best African players as well. Imad Lassini did go very far in this tournament. We were all behind him. He was our last African player standing in this tournament last year, if you remember, Denyukta.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he was so impressive last year, the young Imad Lassini. And, just like Max Benko, he is one of those young QS that, it's one of those, remember the name. Imad Lassini, definitely on track to impress us as he develops as a player of Heyball pool.
And the strange thing is, I was speaking to him, he is a black ball player only plays black ball, and yet he's able to come onto this table and perform the way he does.
Yeah, it's amazing how he calibrated to this game so quickly, hey?
Yeah, usually that does take time, and he was on the main TV table last year in this tournament against, I believe it was Jeffrey DeLuna, on the main TV table, and he was giving Jeff a real run for his money. Let's have a look at this cue ball. Needs to run. Oh, have a look at that. Nicely on the 3. Could even take the 7 if he wants. Was close. That was very close. Off the outside, jaw wiped its feet before it went in. I feel besides the long rail shots on this game, those are tough. The previous 7 from Gareth Potts with the cue ball close to the cushion, slight angle, playing the ball to the corner pocket. Those are not easy shots at all.
Oh, great shape on that 8 ball.
And this is looking like 8-4 to Gareth Potts. Brilliant from
第
Gareth
12 局
Potts.
加雷斯波此胜，比分
Wow.
8比4。
And it's,
Wow.
it's not about the
3-0
scoreline.
down, Raymond.
Yeah, it's not about the scoreline, it's about how quick he's changed it. That's the scary part for me.
The comeback, the maintenance. We
That's
see him take a
excellent standard.
very strong lead now. Gareth Potts is established in this match against Malaysia's Heng Yuan Liu.
Yeah, the thing is, once you let Gareth Potts or a player like Gareth Potts start flying, then you're in trouble. So Shiv, the only way Shiv could handle him was by keeping him in his seat, and I'm sure that's what was going through Shiv's mind every time he got to the table. It was like, I need to keep this man in his seat. Starts off with potting a ball on the break, ends off with potting the black ball on that break, and we do it again, and we do it again. Because Gareth Potts is a monster. He is an absolute monster.
I mean, he's one of the most well-known players in the Q Sport world.
Yeah, most definitely. Especially when it comes to the game of Heyball. You can't say Heyball or Joy without saying Gareth Potts as well. He has done a lot for the sport and is one of the best players worldwide in the sport as well. And have you seen the drills he does on this table? He has it on his Facebook and YouTube page.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Lenyukta, we were talking about the Chinese 9-ball event where he went on to make a record 7 or 9 break and runs in a row. I believe that's on YouTube as well. Yeah, do you remember that? It was Chinese 9-ball brought to you by Joy, and we had Jason Turon playing in that as well.
Yeah, that was a few years back. I believe it was maybe just before or after the COVID pandemic. And yeah, I remember that. They actually had these little playing cards that they used to market the players that were competing in the Chinese 9-ball.
5比8。
Heng Yuan
Rock and roll.
game. Many.
Yeah, he's pulled that one back. That was a rack and run of Gareth's dry break, and there you see 2 rack and runs for Heng Yuan Yu, and Gareth on those 4 break and runs out of 8 frames. So 50% break and run rate for Gareth, and just under 50% run out rate for Heng Yuan Yu. So he needs to pick those numbers up. Does Heng, if he wants to stay in this match. Manny tells us that Gerson just hit a supreme jump shot 6-all in that match against Caesar. So some exciting stuff happening on that page as well. Looks like a dry break, and you see Gareth Potts coming to the table straight away.
It looks like Gareth is going to try and secure solids.
And I've seen that the 5 does go in off the 9 to the center, so if this 4 goes down, just catching the inside cushion, but he was stretched across the whole table with a shot like that.
That's table open for Hing Yuan Yu. Gareth not happy with that. Not happy with that.
Yeah, he just had a look at the 5-9 as well. So he is definitely going to go solids. Love to take on the 7 quite early in the frame. If he can hold the cue ball.
Oof, oof, oof. Unlucky there. Unlucky there. I think he was definitely going for that cushion ball next, Raymond. Just didn't get... But he's got options. He's got options here now.
He's got many options left himself. And a lot. Even the 1 does go into the side. So he's got plenty of options on how he wants to finish this table. But I have to say that 7 ball needs to come out soon. It's the only ball I see giving him a bit of problems in this frame.
Would be interesting now to see how he manufactures this finish. Because he's definitely have to reroute now from his original game plan.
Definitely, and the referee calling extension, or the referee calling 10 seconds and the player calling an extension. So players are allowed 1 extension of 30 seconds per frame. There is a 45-second shot clock on them as well. And there you see, I think that was to try and get on that 7 ball.
Looks like he'll want to play that 5 next.
So either he was going into the 5 with that or played to go past it. The 5, however, to me looks like it does go in off the 9 to the center, so don't feel like he has to do that. Just having a look at some of our scores from our international matches this morning. This is stage 2 of this tournament, round 3. It is the losers bracket at the moment in our 10 a.m. match this morning, so losers from these matches will unfortunately be going home. This is all a race to 13 winner break, and Diana Kojeva is 5-all at the moment in her match. We did see that Kelly Fisher and Diana Kojeva match on TV Table 1 yesterday. Kelly Fisher also flying in this tournament so far, Lenyukta. She is playing so well.
I did watch that match between her and Diana Kojeva yesterday. She was really in good form, and I think this is Kelly's 3rd or 4th time at the Masters tournament. Yeah. And with each showing, she's getting more confident against her. Kelly is regarded as the one of Earth's best QS, and I deliberately didn't say female QS because she is right up there with all the best players in the world.
No, definitely, and yeah, Kelly was on form, and Diana just wasn't her normal self in that match last night, and it showed because Kelly took every single opportunity and won that match quite quickly. So you have Ricky Walden currently down 6-3 as well. Matthew Salt and Stephen Ellis, that is 6-5 to Matthew. Rebecca Kenna now 9-4 up. I would love to see Rebecca go through and get into the last 32 of this competition. Would love to see that.
Oof, that's a foul. I believe that's a foul from Hing, as we saw him with his second last visit. He snookered himself on that last remaining 5 board. He played deep into that corner pocket, deep on the cue ball to get shape on the last 5. And unfortunately, snookered himself. He's given Gareth a free visit, and with that, Gareth has snookered him. He's got a 1 cushion escape here. And he manages to make contact with the 5.
If the black ball wasn't there, that was in. That was actually a good hit. That was a really clean hit. We have Warathanan Sukrathanis is currently 11 for up as well. Would love to see her in that last 16. So is
Oh.
Max Benko currently 10-3 up against Santipab.
Oh, that's beautiful stats coming in. Warathanan from Thailand, I believe. She won the
Heyball World Championship in Slovenia.
yeah.
Yeah, and
She's had a
the
good
Euro
year.
Open as well, the same time. So 2 tournaments
Yes.
at the same time she won.
And that's another foul from Hing Yuan Yu, ball in hand for Gareth Potts.
Heyball.
So we've seen Gareth using ball in hand to free up some of his balls. I feel like he is ready to go for this now. Gonna make a cannon on the 14 after playing this 10 as well. Oh, and that's nice. What a hit that is to get it completely into the middle of the table. Love that shot.
Seguya Vincent is laughing about Gareth Potts having to snooker. Hey, you got to do what you got to do, Mr. Vincent. You got to do what you got to do to secure
Yeah,
that points. And
I
I mean,
see
that's
that.
discipline. That's discipline, you know. I mean, a player of his caliber, not just going for it, knowing when to go for it. Yeah. Take notes, everybody. Take notes.
And Seguya Vincent saying, Ayub must stop with those expensive jokes regarding Lassini. No, all he had to say was Lassini is one of the best players in Africa. It's very difficult to say who is the best player on the African continent as there are so many. But Imad Lassini is definitely one of the best players, as is Jason Turon, as is Caesar Chandiga, and the list goes on. I mean, we have so much talent on the African continent, and we'd love to see more of these players from all the African countries representing Africa well at these tournaments.
You know, I think for a long time, the world believed that the international players outside of China would not be able to make a dent in what the Chinese have achieved in Heyball. And I think with every passing year, every passing Grandmasters, we see the international players edging closer and closer to that final 32. So there's hope, guys. So wherever you are in the world, if you think you can play this game, find a way to get yourself to the Masters next year. And remember, there's also station events that you can play where you get ranking points, and those are held every 2 months in China. So for more information about that, contact one of the Joy staff, and they'll be able to give you information on how players in your country, wherever you are, can also attend those station events and get more international experience.
Yeah, and one of the international players that stands out for me, who has made a huge dent in the Heyball world, is Phone Min Kyo. By moving to China, that's what he's done, and look at the play he is now. He's in the international group, but he is such a dangerous player. One of the best in the world.
I actually can't wait to see what Phone does in this tournament.
9比5
I really hope we get to see him on the TV table at some point.
I
I believe there is quite a matchup coming up with him, and I can't remember who it is, but that's today. Hey Raymond, can you just have a look at that for us?
It's Phone Mint against Justin Sage from Australia.
Yes, that'll be a good match. That'll be a good match. And I mean, that said, Justin Sage as well, one of those players, one of those players that is getting stronger and stronger with each showing at these Masters events.
He definitely is. So that's going to be a really exciting match. Justin has been playing really well, and he's really getting consistent now, putting in a lot of work is Justin. So I look forward to that match later this evening.
Mr. Vincent, I am Lenyukta Chetty. I'm also from South Africa. 。 . 。  . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 . 。 . 。 。 . 。 。 . 。
。 . 。 。 . 。
. 。 . 。 .
。
We should add that to that, Lenyukta, that you got up at 4 in the morning to come and join me in commentary. As and thank you for that. Thank you for being here and joining me in commentary. Always great to have you here, and I'm sure the viewers love having you on as well.
Well, Raymond, in all fairness, I've hardly missed any match, even at 4 a.m. in the morning. So, yeah, no, it's such an honor to be sharing this space with you. You've been doing a fantastic job thus far.
Yeah, it has been really fun, and yeah, as we get to the closing stages of this tournament, it's just going to get more exciting.
You know, at this stage, it's still so difficult to see who will occupy the stage for that final, for the grand final, which is in a few days' time. I think that's on Saturday. Hey, Raymond, the finals of this event.
Yeah, it is.
I mean,
on
you said
the
17th. Kunpeng.
Yeah.
Kunpeng is definitely in great form. Definitely in great form.
In my mind, he's the best so far.
Yeah. And Yeboah, I mean, had he not been eliminated yesterday, he would have still been a strong contender vying for that finals. And once again, so disappointed that Tang has been eliminated. She
Tang
is just
Shunshao,
such
your
one
favorite.
word.
Your favorite.
My
has been
favorite.
eliminated, yeah, and one of my favorites, Mr. Xing Yeboah, also eliminated. And the thing is, we have Zhao Rulang and Yang Fan in that losers bracket playing in a few hours. So I really don't want to see them go home as well. They have to be in that last 16. We need them there. Because the matches I want to watch is like Zhao Rulang or Yang Fan against one of our international best. That's exciting. You know, the difference in styles, difference in gameplays, to see that.
Yeah, I mean, with these players being same size, as we say in Africa, it just boils down to on the day, on the day. And it's always so wonderful if both players are in the zone,
exactly.
when they meet each other, because that's what we want to see. I mean, entertainment value is, when both players are in form and they're doing what they can do and what us as fans love watching them do.
And when we talk about zone, we're talking about Shivam Arora yesterday. That is the definition of zone.
Absolutely. Oh, Shivam was so entertaining yesterday. And I think, the viewers at home were going crazy because I remember the comment that was coming up multiply on that stream was, who is this Indian? And that's the beauty. That's the beauty of these tournaments. You get to see players from across the globe that you've not heard of before, and see how amazing they are. The world is full of amazing Q Sport players. Over 300 million people play Q Sport the world over, all the different forms of Q Sport. That's an impressive number, higher than soccer.
That is really an amazing statistic, Lenyukta. And thank you so much, Manny and Vincent. You guys are always on the stream, always supporting us, and thank you for your kind comments as well. Really appreciate you guys. Mr. Vincent says he left watching his Ugandan player to come here, so he's here just for the commentary. we truly appreciate that. I just want to reply to Kanal quickly. Kanal says Zhang Kangpeng and Tang Shunshao in the final. Unfortunately, Tang Shunshao is no longer in the tournament. She did lose to Liu Haitao, and afterwards also lost to Zhao Rulang as well. So she is out of the tournament. Big upset on that one, I have to say. She was a favorite, definitely a favorite for last 8 and even final table.
And the people the world over know Tang now. They know Tang because of this events. She's such a wonder.
Her big break was the final against her master, Xing Yeboah, where she lost
2 years ago.
Yeah, she lost that, but I mean, still to make it to the final, that's where everybody wondered, who is this girl? And there was some excellent play from her to get to that. And as we see, Hing Yuan Yu going 9-6 now. He's trying to keep Gareth there. He's not letting Gareth get away.
And I mean, it's really, I mean, that's a lot can be said for that. You know, this young Malaysian player with a snooker background holding his own against Gareth Pot 9-6. 9-6, I mean, being 3-0 up earlier, Gareth, I mean, doing what Gareth does to come back there, equalize, and take a very strong lead. Hing's still holding his own, not letting Gareth Potts get under his skin. You know, he's making the most of his opportunities, and that's a beautiful thing to watch.
Yeah, I love to see that. And now he does have the break, score being 9-6 winners break format. It is raised to 13, so let's see if he can do something with this break. Look, if he can get a ball down, I really don't doubt him to clear the table.
Ooh.
Try. Also going for those, he's playing the softer break if you have a look. It's slightly softer, but going for the centers. And the problem is...
we saw...
we
saw those two balls tracking for center. Ideally, that is what they want. And yeah, just not hitting that sweet spot. Hey, Raymond.
No, it's not only that, it's also the triangle as well. It's very tough to get a consistent break on the triangle, as it's ever changing. It'll never be racked as perfect as a magic rack, so the break will never be the same. So it's very difficult to predict it, although they are playing for those two center balls. Both these players actually breaking very similar. Softer break, more technical.
Yeah, I think over the last decade, well, let's say 5-6 years, I think the Q Sport world has come to realize how important an intentional break is, you know, in this format. I mean, with this, like we've said before, with the caliber of players we have on the international scene, really, to a large extent, comes down to the break. And it'll be so interesting to see those break and run, those break versus win rate on these matches. And I think, so, I remember some years ago, Joy used to produce some pretty, let's say, intimate stats. The break and run rate, and I would love to see actually the break versus winning that frame, even if you break dry, to see what those stats are, because this is the thing that players should be prioritizing, especially on this level, is that intentional break.
Yeah, definitely. I think that that statistic there, the breaking dry and winning the frame, that'll be low, because I've seen most of the rack and runs off dry breaks, and that has actually changed the complexion of a match, so that will be quite low. And even the break and run rate will not be as high as we are used to because of the number of dry breaks we're having. But I still believe with the top 16 players in this tournament, it'll still be around 60 to 70% usually. It does hold at that. And yes, thank you, Mr. Vincent, for the kind words. She has definitely increased the vibe, and I do appreciate Lenyukta being here with me in commentary. It definitely does increase the vibe. Thank you for that, Mr. Vincent. And no, Mr. Chu Bingji is still in the competition. We haven't mentioned
now,
him.
There's a guy.
Yeah, there's a guy.
There's a guy
winner.
who put the breaks on the map. I remember watching in awe one of the Masters finals that he won with that consistent break with those two balls tracking to the center pocket. But they've really thrown a spanner into the works this year, right, Raymond? Because as some of us would remember, the break rule was different at the last Masters. You had 16 centimeters along the bulk line from either side of the cush, and that was the zone in which a player could break from. And now they've thrown a spanner into the works. You can break anywhere from behind bulk, and we've seen a very different game as a result of that. Just changing that one rule has changed the entire complexion of what we've seen in this tournament. Hey, Raymond.
Yeah, it really has. That has come through on revision 2025 of the Heyball rules. That new break rule, so you can place the white ball anywhere in the balk, balk area, and now with the triangle rack, so not using the magic rack, it's quite exciting now. I mean, the magic rack was becoming slightly obvious. Players were getting too used to it and too good, as you mentioning Chu Bingxi last year when he won that, almost breaking perfectly every time. If he was breaking, was almost certain to be a run out at least. So yeah, that's I think that's a big reason for the change as well, because the more players were practicing that break, they could actually predict with very high possibility a ball falling in the center pocket, as well as good cue ball control. Oh, and Potts has missed that one.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! And this is the second time in this match where he just almost took the frame in his visit. So, yeah.
That's an unforced error from Gareth Potts. Yeah, him getting a very, very lucky opportunity at this table. Okay, he's playing with snooker, but
yeah, there's escape. I can see an escape here for Gareth. I can definitely see the escape, and of course there's also is he swerving? Does it
no,
look
he's
like
gonna roll up
play
from behind.
cushion first.
Yeah, he's gonna roll up from behind.
Cushion first and attempted snooker there, I guess.
Also to try and get that ball slightly off the cushion, so when he does come back to the table, it's in a slightly better position. Might be able to jump shot it next. So yeah, interesting shot choice from Gareth. The right shot, I believe. Oh, this has to work. No, it's open.
It's open. I think he might have full ball contact on there. Looks like he can see the whole ball.
Yeah, you can definitely see the potting angle, and even if it's slightly tight, use a bit of bottom right, which he is using anyway, to come out for the black ball. Oh, have a look at that. Have a look at that cue ball.
Gareth Potts, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow.
Beautiful stuff.
Wow.
Gareth Potts, his name is a verb, Raymond. His name is a verb.
Yeah, it definitely is. And that is 16 frames gone, and so that is a 10-minute timeout player break. We will be back with you shortly. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen.
We'll see you in a little bit, everybody. Enjoy the ads. How great are these ads?
Yeah, we love these ads. I love seeing the cues and the chalk. It's quite nice. We don't get this back home, so I do enjoy them.
And we're back. As we saw that dry break from Gareth Potts, just couldn't find a pocket there. Couldn't find a pocket. Hing with a chance. 10-6. 10-6, that's the status. Race to 13.
Yeah, and it is winner break, but as we can see that not meaning too much now with the triangle rack in play as we are seeing many dry breaks. So as we did say, if Gareth can fix those breaks, that's how he was able to pull that lead in the first place with those consecutive break and runs. So coming down to the breaks a lot in this tournament. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, with the elimination of the magic rack that was originally used, I think, it's just not, that rack is just not perfect. So it's adding a little bit of personality now to these frames because they're not getting that perfect hit. And I'm not sure how. I mean, the refs can do as best as they can to make sure all the balls are touching in that rack. But then there's human error as well. So definitely the elimination of that magic rack has added something else to this, to the complexion of these frames.
Yeah, I think it's made it quite fun, to be honest. Seeing the dry breaks coming.
Not as predictable.
Yes, not as predictable.
Not as predictable.
Fun. Because if we had to have a tournament winner break and we're using the magic rack, that would be bad. I can tell you that there would be a player sitting.
Yeah, it will start looking like 9-ball.
Yeah,
it'll start
exactly.
looking like 9-ball.
We'll see some huge scores, like 10-0, 11-0, things like that. So I actually think I like the rule. I like the rule change, and also we've had the penalty spot moved, as we did see in the qualifying rounds. When it is a timed match, penalty spot moved to where the first ball is racked.
Yeah, I mean, still a difficult shot, and I'll never forget that one of the matches went down to 30-29 on the penalties. It was, I think, 2 players from either Thailand or Malaysia, and that was incredible. That was incredible, and definitely one for the record books as far as these masters are concerned.
And I do believe that video is actually on our Joy Heyball World Tour Facebook page, getting quite a lot of views. Yeah, 29-30 is that's insane. The level of play there for them to hit 30 consecutive pots. Really well done to those 2 players. But it was fun, the qualifying rounds with the 100-minute time limits. Race to 7 was quick fire. You had to be on it.
No, you had to be on it. Race to 7 goes so quick. It goes so quick. I know, of course, you add in the extra thing with the clock. For the player that's chasing a score, it's
that's
brutal.
Always terrible.
Brutal.
It's always terrible. From experience, we can talk. That is terrible. When you
Yeah,
have to
both
chase.
of us.
Yeah, I don't fancy that. See, we've gone slightly tactical now from Gareth Potts in this frame. He did put that 13 onto the 5 just a few shots ago. Quite an important stage of this match. Yeah, with that 10-6 lead, I mean, this can look like 11-6 or 10-7. That is a huge difference. Can be a turning point in the match if his opponent can make a comeback.
I mean, Gareth is just too much of an experienced player to underestimate any of his opponents, And I think, I've had the pleasure of meeting and talking to some of the best players in the world, and all of them will say that you got to play. You got to play your best pool regardless of who you're playing, whether it's a small-time comp in your local pub or whether it's an international tournament like these Masters. You can't underestimate your opponents, and we see that here with Gareth. He's just not underestimating what Hing Yuan Yu can do. And I think definitely that would have cemented it with that 3-0 lead that Hing had at the beginning of this match.
Yeah, most definitely, Lenukta. You can't be underestimating your opponent, and a player like Gareth Potts would never do that.